I'm not sure. That does seem pretty tall
He's
though.
way taller than me, that's all I know.
But here we are. We're into the game now, so once again, welcome everyone here to CEVO Season 3 Main. We're in the playoffs, lower bracket, round 4. We've got a best of 3 between the Bird's Nest going up against Avanti's Angles. I'm Helium, and with me is Vic Romand.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I haven't gotten a chance to cast with you in a pretty long time. So
yeah, I
it'll
can't
be nice.
even remember the last time. I think it was maybe something back when NEL was flourishing and very prominent.
Might have been NEL, yeah.
Since it is now decrepit and needs watering, but who knows? Hopefully it'll come back.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think there's stuff in the works that might make it have a renaissance of sorts, but
That is
we'll see.
also what I've heard, but it's on the hush-hush, guys.
Yeah. I think it's as much as we can say is that there's stuff in the works, but no more than that.
And that IX Mike is crying somewhere.
Right.
But into the bans we go, already taken out the very, very annoying Slark. Is he OP, or did teams just not want to play against him? I guess that's still up for debate. Taking out the annoying Timbersaw as well, hard to push into, lots of damage. And also, seems like annoying is a common theme of 6.79, the very annoying Venomancer.
I think it's just all the heroes are so good at the things that they're good at that you just try to avoid the playstyle that you can't deal with. And Timber's like high burst damage, Veno's like really punishes positioning and team fight. Slark obviously really punishes positioning.
Yeah.
Alchemist though is just OP. Like all three of these heroes, I think you can make a case that they're fine. Alk is just way over curve. Hero's really dumb.
Yeah, it's just really the fact that he's an ambiguous pickup. You can put him pretty much in any role. If he's a support, he doesn't need a lot of farm. If he's a carry, he can get a lot of farm, but doesn't need quite as much because of Greevil's Greed. Insane burst damage from the Concoction, like armor reduction, AoE, like just too good at every point in the game. Something maybe needs to be done. I think going back to parity with DOTA2, where the Concoction can blow up mid-air, might be a place to start.
Yeah, I think that would be a good change. And we'd have to see how much that changes, whether that makes them get back out. It'll definitely nerf the support style, which I think is the strongest style.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, if you have to run a mid or even offlane stacking Ancients or something, it's okay, but support is where it's at. If you hit 6 at like 7 minutes for some reason, game is over. As long as you don't throw at that point.
Yeah, pretty much. And obviously, so those heroes were banned. Veno, Slark, maybe the slightly less strong ones, Alk, Timber, both pretty top tier, but there's still so many strong heroes in CM after you take out 2 from each team, so 4 very standard pickups, Doom, CM, Bristle, Visage. I don't think either team really has much of an advantage at this point. They both pick basically the same thing, 1 farmer, 1 support, and they're all pretty much some of the best heroes out there.
Yeah, definitely. And Bird's Nest not going to want to go for a Chen or Enchantress or anyone that has anything to do with the neutrals. Right now with the Crystal Maiden and the Doom, with the Devour and the 10-second Frostbite, it shuts down any early push that would come from the I'm a Sheep Sucks Enchantress or something along those lines.
For sure. And one or both of them can go Midas too, and that kills one of the other creeps. Like, it's just a really bad scene.
Yeah, I think
so yeah, honestly, they might have to ban junglers.
Doom always going to go Midas.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they might actually, honestly, Avanti's Angles could fit in an Enchantress or something, and it'd be very dangerous. So if I'm Bird's Nest, I want to keep that in mind for bans.
Yeah, it looks like they take out the Razor right now, I guess, to just ensure that their Bristleback can go nuts. And then the mid-game with the Warpath stacks, now up to 7. Those lower cooldowns has helped him out quite a bit, as that is the reason he keeps popping into the scene now.
Yeah, I actually think Bristle was very strong before. I think he was strong in 6.78. People just didn't pick him.
It's just like you get stuck in the old school meta. Like, no, that can't be good. Like, everyone's doing this. You don't want to change it. And 6.78 was a pretty stable meta where we only saw the same thing.
It was.
So it's nice that it's changed, but now the game is a little crazy. Like, if we could split the difference, leaning a little more towards 6.79, I think I would be a bit happier, but...
I like 6.79. I think it's the one thing is because everything's so strong, you win. A lot of games are just won at draft.
Yeah, that's
in a way
the one
that they
thing
weren't
I
when people
don't
knew
like.
what people were gonna pick. Yeah,
but like winning a draft is fine, but it's starting to seem, especially that example of in Star Ladder where Funnick was on that Nixus house and playing out of his mind, and they just couldn't do anything. Like DK Veno, we will walk over you, and it doesn't matter.
Dire team ban.
yeah. Yeah, honestly, like you can get outpicked like with 5th pick a lot, and a lot of teams just end up in unwinnable situations. But Here,
Radiant
oh,
team.
that's
I
a
like that
really
pick.
clever pick, actually. Nice. They saw the Razor ban from the other team, then took out Viper and picked the OD. So that really narrows down Bird's Nest options for the mid.
Kunkka. You gotta go Kunkka
Yeah,
now.
Kunkka, Troll.
Sniper.
If you really want to get,
Pick.
like, trolly, you can pick Sniper. He trashes OD mid.
Yeah, especially with the increased range off of whatever his third ability is called. Marksmanship.
Take aim.
Take aim. Damn it. Marksmanship was a good guess, I feel like.
It was a very good guess, but that's Drow's ult.
Ah, that's why I knew I was getting it from somewhere. But yeah, so the bans you already went over there, the Viper, as well as the Razor getting taken out. Thus, the OD pick, very smart. Luna as well,
Yeah.
taking her out because of her push potential. She also gets pretty strong, at, in between level 6. If you want to try to gank her with that Eclipse, it can be difficult. And Solardar, a hero I've been seeing a lot of, and I've been seeing it played very well, so they take it out.
He's kind of legit.
He's a
insane with
bristleback
Bristle,
counter.
too. Yeah, he's good against Bristle. He's good with Bristle too, because you can chase people
Yeah.
down, stun them,
10
and the armor
seconds
plus
remaining.
Bristleback is just nuts. I mean, his ult plus Bristleback is nuts.
Yeah,
Seconds remaining.
Yeah, I don't know.
a lot of
I
the
like
games,
that OD gambit, like the banning into OD pick is just so strong in
Reserve
second
time.
phase. A lot of teams actually, even at the pro level, you see teams will just insulate against that no matter what the previous draft is. Like Alliance. Like 90% of the time, Alliance will ban OD either third or fourth, just to avoid like getting surprised as third or fifth pick.
Yeah, it's definitely not as good as it was, but it's still insanely scary. I mean, you get that intelligence up with the Force Staff, a couple people put under, so you have the intelligence steal, and then you drop an Eclipse and a team play. Drop the hammer, as somebody would say. Someone would say.
Somebody.
We won't say who, but there's the Invoker pickup, who
Team
I
back.
think doesn't do as bad as you would maybe think versus OD, getting those the 2 spells at level 3. He's pretty dangerous, and he's got a large mana pool, so it's going to take a bit for OD to make sure he can't cast.
Thing is, Sunstruck's really expensive. Is the only thing.
Yeah.
Like it's
Seconds
really, really pricey.
Also
I think
quite
it's what is it,
effective.
170 mana or 180, something like
I'm
that.
not a big
5
Invoker
seconds
buff, so
remaining.
I'm actually going to have no idea on his mana cost of his
It's a
spells,
lot.
but that makes sense that it would be
It's
expensive.
not. It's not a
Reserve
great matchup. It's not. It's like you don't. You probably won't die, but Invoker won't have that fun of a time. I guess his base damage is already so low that it hardly can't get too much lower. If he keeps his int high enough that he can do the combo when he like gets Cold Snap and Sunstrike, he can actually just straight up kill the OD, which is nice.
Yeah, and I kind of like the pick. I mean, of course, they've got the Rubik to set up
Radiant
any
team
Sunstrike just with a
back.
telekinesis, but if OD is trying to maybe save any of his allies, then Invoker, he's automatically got a Sunstrike set up for himself,
I think-
which will be nice.
They might try to dodge the OD matchup. Like they could do an aggressive try. Even though Rubik's pretty bad in an aggressive try lane, they could do
Remaining.
Invoker actually safe lane, either with Rubik and Visage or just by
5
himself,
seconds
but then
remaining.
Bristle top and pick another mid like Lone Druid or Kunkka or something.
Yeah, actually, I like that you brought up
Reserve
Lone
time.
Druid. That's probably one of the better heroes that they could get right now. It's extremely good against OD. I'd say it's the only hero that actually wins the matchup.
It's really skill based. Like if there's even a small skill disparity in favor of the OD, I feel like OD still wins, but like or familiarity with the hero. But with equally like with top level players, I think Lone Druid's like favored a little bit.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think he does well. One of the best in terms of the Viper, the Razor, the Lone Druid, and the cheesy Sniper,
Dire
potentially
team
Kunkka. No mana spells.
Kunkka's
are pretty
alright.
nice.
Like that's Kunkka's like tier B. Like he doesn't lose the lane that badly. He doesn't win it. Like
I actually
Troll's
don't
the
think
same way.
Kunkka's as good anymore now that if you do run OD mid, the bottle is kind of required. So
Yeah.
now you can get your HP back when you normally couldn't with the bottle hits. So I don't know. Pros and cons. But we see a Clockwork who is very, very strong getting banned out there 5th. No one had opted to pick him up. And Avanti's Angles going for their 5th
10
pick.
seconds
We
remaining.
should note, if you haven't already noticed, they do have the Marana, and that's going to
Bane
be
probably. Yeah.
5 seconds
nicely
remaining.
set up. The Sacred Arrow with the Astral as well as the Frostbite.
I think just Bane here,
Reserve
like not even
time.
overthinking it, would probably be the best pick.
It's pretty
Maybe like
ridiculous.
SD is pretty good too, but Bane's just such a good hero in this, and it insulates against if Bird's Nest tries to go for like a hard carry or something.
Yeah, and actually SD, I've been thinking about it more so than the last 2 seconds since you mentioned it. I think it's a good pick versus Bristleback, just because of the
Yeah,
Soul Catcher,
Soul Catcher's
the damage
amazing.
amplification. Like that completely negates the
Yeah.
Bristleback, so you can definitely
No,
bring
that's
him
totally
down.
true. SD's amazing against Bristle. He's one of the pseudo counters to the hero. Like SD, OD, because OD already does like a lot of OD's really good against Bristle as well, just because he has
His
really high
mana
burst
pool is
damage.
trash. too.
Yeah, also that. Like his mana pool, and it's also that if you can do more damage than what 2 things of Bristleback would do, you're
10
basically winning,
seconds
right? Because he
remaining.
can't just whittle you down.
Yeah,
and that's
he
what
can't
OD
stand there.
does, especially with Soulcatcher.
5 seconds remaining.
Or they could do that.
I don't like it. I feel like since 6.79, any team I see that picks up a Darkseer, at least in the CEVO, the amateur semi-pro level, auto always loses. So we'll see what happens.
I'm like a registered Darkseer hater, so I'm with you. I'm with you, Helium. Like I hate Darkseer. I think he's really weak.
I don't know. Like
also,
got
what's the
easier.
point? Like, what does he do here, right? Like, what are they vacking into? A Sanity's Eclipse?
No, the Blink War Stomp from
seconds
Doom,
remaining.
obviously.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Yeah,
5 seconds
it.
remaining.
Yeah, the Darkseer just doesn't. This to me is like you pick a Darkseer here if you're like, oh crap, like we need an
Reserve
offlane hero desperately. Do they? Like they could have just run Mirana Tri-Lane Doom solo save or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they definitely could have. Just that aggressive with the Crystal Maiden, with the Bane. Hopefully get a kill, or at least an early First Blood, which is pretty easy with that combination, even against Rubik, Visage, Bristle.
Yeah.
And then they can just roam and leave the Mirana because she can offlane, Doom can go safe, and then you've got the threat of Crystal Maiden and Bane just popping up anywhere on the map. Instead they go with the other purple guy, they pick up Darkseer, who is still a great
10
offlaner.
seconds
He can get
remaining.
farm, he can build up a mech and court items, but I think the mid-game rotations are so important right now, and he doesn't offer that.
I don't think Darkseer is like, it's a fine pick. It's not like a disaster for them. It's a very safe pick. If they wanted to have the Crystal Maiden like level, like maybe they didn't want to take the risk of an aggressive try because they just weren't sure what they'd be laning against. So they were like, hey, we want to do a safe lane. We're gonna have CM in jungle, so we need a really like an offlaner who's probably not going to get trashed in the lane, and that's when you sort of reach for the Darkseer. I just worry that maybe they'll find that this doesn't actually like. Sometimes you have your Darkseer and he levels fine, and then you're just like, wait, what does this hero actually do?
Yeah, seriously. I'm actually going to switch one setting, and then we'll hop into the introductions. I recently switched to the hero icons, and I really don't like it. And
On minimap?
yeah, and I also don't know how to change it.
Damn small. They look pretty, but like in a
They
non-functional
overlap
kind of way.
too much, and it's just like... Alright, it has been fixed. And it's hard. I've been missing kills since I've done it when I've been casting. But I like it kind of better for playing because I immediately know like who got the bottom rune and whatnot. But here we go. Into the game. For some reason I do the Dire, so here we go. Avanti's angles. We've got Shredder playing on his Doom, and something that I should tell you, I guess, as well as the audience. He likes the Doom. He's done very well. The last game I cast of him a couple nights ago, he went for the Refresher Ags Rush, and for some reason...
Oh,
it worked.
nice.
And it was hilarious, but so we might do it again here. Up on the top lane, I believe this is just Avanti himself, doesn't seem to ever tag up correctly. Jenkins in the mid lane on the OD, Dolphin up top on the Mirana, and that off lane Darkseer, it's going to be fact or
The
fiction.
battle begins.
Alright, and Bird's Nest on the Radiant. They're going to be playing with Bird, the captain, the big bad bird, in fact. He's going to be on the Invoker in the middle. Then Waffle Devil's going to be piloting up the off lane, it looks like. Probably solo on the Bristleback. And they've got a tri-lane safe with W4 on the Pugna, Hyun on the Visage, and N on the Rubik.
Indeed. Well, so the lanes are Darkseer, of course, just in the off lane. So Bottom's going to have a lot of protection up top, but it does allow the Crystal Maiden and the Visage to, not the Visage, excuse me, the Crystal Maiden just by herself to sort of roam around as Doom jungles.
Yeah, I guess maybe we'll split the jungle. Like, CM will just take these 2 camps, and Doom will take the rest. I'm not sure.
Yeah, not confident they have enough damage to kill the Bristle, and maybe the Crystal Maiden could go into the mid lane and,
I don't see him killing Bristle, yeah.
help kill Invoker, because he's not going to have any points in Wex early on. We'll see what they want to do.
I think roaming to kill Invoker is a good option. I agree with you there. Like, he's going to be pretty vulnerable. Invoker's slow, he has low damage, lower because OD's going to be wrecking his world, and you can just smoke rotate mid. Probably get a kill. I don't know if you can kill the Bristle. Seems like he'd have to make a mistake for that to happen.
Yeah, for sure. He's a pretty good offline player as well. He was a good addition to their team. They got a lot better when they added him about halfway through the season, I believe is what went down. So, and also, if we could just hate on the Darkseer pick for a couple more seconds. Darkseer is also great because he can go into the jungle if his offlane's not going well. But if we look at the jungle, it's a little crowded. We've got a Crystal Maiden and a Doom in there already, so...
Yeah.
Luckily, he's not doing too bad.
I'm trying to take it easy on Darkseer because I've hated on him so much that I feel like I hurt Darkseer's
I just got
feelings.
started, so...
Okay, yeah, no, please, by all means.
He
And he's
could be
actually in trouble right now. Where's the lift? There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, he's dead.
The first blood, and the Visage is gonna get it. I know it's surprising when Visage picks up the first blood. The Soul Assumption is gonna be enough to take him out. So a nice pickup. It was the Darkseer again trying to get a lot of just a lot more XP than maybe he should have at the time. So pays the price.
Yeah, it's a tough call, honestly. And like you said, jungle's really not that available. Like any time he spends is time that Doom's not spending. By the way, they rotated the CM and Mirana, so they are going to try to go for Invoker. OD has the Invis rune and they're smoked up, so I guess they're gonna... I mean, Bird's playing this properly, he's tilted towards that side, but I think they should get him.
If they can get the arrow, it's kind of awkward with all the minions, as well as the Forge Spirit, which does take the arrow, exactly, but I think they're still going to get him. Dolphin might go down to the tower. No, still living. Jenkins, one more attack, is going to get it. So right now, the score evened up at 1-1 after that.
Took a surprising amount of effort.
It did. It was really awkward. I think they could have waited longer for the Astral to get Dolphin set up a little better, but... I don't know.
The angle for Mirana was really, really tough.
The Forge Spirit summon was a good call by Big Bad Bird. He almost lived as a result.
Yeah, that was actually quite well played by him. The issue is not going to have a great time here, especially with the one death. He actually, he was going to go for Midas first, it looked like. He was banking to start the Midas. And now you see that he just feels that won't work. He has to go for Null, so he buys Null and Ring of Prot just to try to not lose the lane against OD.
Whoa. Bristleback in the top lane, taking out Dolphin to support Mirana. Not quite there in time to witness it, but, you know, lots of Quill Spray is pretty much gonna do you in.
Yeah, if CM's not there, and Mirana doesn't have Leap, right? Oh, he actually has Leap.
Maybe it's a good thing we didn't see it, Dolphin.
I mean, Bristle's really strong. This is another hero who I'm trying to not talk about these days because I sort of did it to death, but he's a really strong hero.
Yeah, I really like the capability of Bristleback to take down the Ancients so insanely quickly with no item. Like, if you go at them with full mana, they will die. Like, he needs nothing.
Ooh, arrow.
Arrow, though, nicely done in the top lane. That's like a 4-second stun, but Doom not interested. He's gonna be greedy and farm it up.
Well, it doesn't have level death, so he can't
no
even
damage.
Actually, if he had level death, they could have maybe gone for that.
Well, what's the multiplier? Is 5 the first multiplier?
It's 6 at level 1, so he'd need it at level 2.
I don't know. I feel like if you're laning him, maybe you can get away with that, but it is going to definitely be nice to have that Scorched Earth to deal with some of the Quill Spray harass.
Yeah, I wonder, because he started in jungle, and then I think they were like, hang on, we've got like a CM and we'd rather jungle her, so now you've got Doom laning. It's just a little bit awkward, I guess. I'm not sure.
Well, Shredder does have the Midas, of course. It's one of those heroes. I feel like the Doom as well as the Invoker just always go for that Midas. Levels are very key for them, so of course you're going to get
for sure. I think it's like slightly less mandatory for Doom, but people really like it, and it's definitely mandatory for Invoker. Like, it's really hard to play the Invoker if you don't get the levels.
Yeah, and then I guess 6.78 when Alchemist was always a carry, it was quite popular, either going for that Midas or the Battle Fury.
Yeah,
just to be a little greedier.
I don't know if it was ever good. Like, it was just a thing people
just did it.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I'm playing. Oh, nice. Actually, his Forge Spirit control is quite excellent. Birds, I'm really impressed. Like, he did a really good catapult deny there with one of them.
Well, they are pretty OP, so I'd hope you can manage it. Maybe he's one of those StarCraft veterans. As actually Mirana is making a run towards the mid lane. That top rune for the Dire? No, that's the Dire rune. Big Bad Bird's playing pretty blind here. They've got a rune on the bottom lane, but it's not really helping because no one's rotating from there. It's just Darkseer farming up. He's almost level 4. He's not having the best of times. Only 5 last hits.
I mean, OD is definitely winning this lane, but he's not actually totally trashing it. Like, Invoker's doing alright. He's 12 for 9. It could be worse. The main thing that OD did was forced Invoker to go this no talisman.
We've got a Doom going off onto Woofle. The arrow's off the mark. It hits the neutrals that the Bristleback was trying to deny himself to. But either way, it's a kill over to Shredder, who has probably finished his Midas off of that. Already used it once and then picking up the kill.
Yeah, he used it. Yep, I mean, Doom is very, very good. That was a good play by him. And Bristle had sort of picked that fight, so I'm not sure why.
Because he's Bristle. It's that overconfidence that you get.
For sure. Yeah. I think Darkseer's probably dead.
Oh, yeah. Sunstrike on the way, but not going to be needed as Rubik with the lift. Everyone going to take him down.
Yeah, I mean, the Darkseer is pretty under level at this point. He's level 4, which is not good news. And they can take a tower off of this too. Almost guaranteed, I think.
Yeah, especially with Pugna, absolutely ridiculous. Just chunking away. But Fact or Fiction, he goes down there. And Darkseer is a pretty nice hero. A Doom, he's gonna get gone on up in the top lane. There's gonna be some revenge there. Mirana, I don't see her, but I hear that she has missed the arrow. Now swooping around to go in and get Wolfle. I think he's gonna pay the price here. No points in Starstorm.
Yeah, he's probably gonna kill
There's
Mirana.
the leap away. And you've got to be careful. 2 points in Bristleback. Sunstrike almost gets Dolphin. Still chasing. There goes the tower. Pugna takes it down. Now OD on the prowl. Arrow.
Should spam
over
quills more.
Wolfle. Still making a run for it currently. Is this
He's fine. There's
He's going
like
for
no
the
way to kill.
courier.
No, you can't get the courier.
Thank
That's
God
really greedy.
Quill Spray doesn't work on that.
Yeah, right?
I bet you
He
did
should
at
be
one
fine.
point.
I think he's out. Like, he just needs to run away and spam quills and then...
Oh,
Oh, no,
my
no, no!
God.
He got arrowed! He got...
It's range creep, man. That MVP
Oh,
right there, range
man.
creep. It scouted him out. It was keeping vision on him as he ran, and then Mirana
It
just
did.
lined up the arrow, and Wolfle kind of forgot about dodging him after that.
If he hadn't gone for the courier, he would have actually have lived. It's too bad. Honestly, the levels, I mean, because of the massive denies that the OD has put out and the fact that the tri-lane of Dire rotated more than the tri-lane of Radiant, now you have Doom at 8 and OD at 8, which is pretty scary if you're Radiant. Like, they haven't done any pushing other than tier 1.
Mid
Nice
lane,
kill,
though.
Andrew.
Oh. Even with the drop of the hammer, Rubik will live. It's Jenkins on the OD that goes down. A nice rotation over by the high burst damage Visage, and of course N on the Rubik there. Well played. Helping out that
25
Invoker.
on Rubik when he walked away from that. But that's good. I mean, he's almost 6. Pretty important level for Rubik. There's plenty of really good stuff to steal, especially Doom, obviously.
Yeah, pretty much creates the hero when you hit level 6. Doom will be nice. He might even be the target as a result of that, but knowing Shredder, he might be able to Doom Rubik and then 1, seeing what he is going to build first.
Yeah, Watermelon's actually really good on Doom. I don't really rate Ags, but I think Refresher's solid.
I feel like if you're going Refresher, you better get the Ags, right?
I guess so.
Like, just run around and deny 2 people, like anything. But actually, bottom lane, W4 in trouble. Uses Nether Blast just on creep, so not there to even do any damage. Oh, and then Rubik takes the arrow on the TP in, and he could be going down here. There's no stuns to hold him. Do they want to dive? No Visage is there. They're going to back off. Nice kill.
Probably a smart decision. Yeah. That was smart of Avanti's angles. If they overextend and lose people and they give Visage like 2 levels off the fight, that's not worth the Pugna kill at all.
Yeah, especially winner of this series here, which of course is a best of 3, gets into the prizes. And I don't want to say prize money because 3rd place I believe is just some mouse pads or headphones. But anyways, up top, Wolfle in trouble. Nice quick dodge. I think he still could be in trouble. It looks like Doom disables the Bristleback passive, which is nice.
It does, yeah.
That spell's very inconsistent.
Doom?
Yes.
Yeah, it's literally just a list of exceptions. There's no rules for how they hit. Whenever I get confused, there's a really good list. I mean, he's dead here. There's a really good list on Play Dota forums, which literally goes spell by spell and says whether or not Doom disables them. Because that's the only way you can remember, is just learning every spell.
Yeah. I would say the safer assumption is almost to say it doesn't.
Ever since they buffed it, and I think that was 6.79, it caught a lot of things passives that it previously had as exceptions, like Feast and Phantom Lancer's passive.
Yeah, well, at least it gets the. I
don't know if they can kill OD here. They'll try. Oh, I guess they can. Nice Sunstrike.
And the double damage coming out from Rubik, hitting for like 150 almost.
Yeah, legit. Because he went, rather than go tier 2 boots, he went straight for the 4 staff, so actually that gives him a little bit of a damage boost as well. It's the Staff of Wizardry.
Wait, for who? Going for the Staff of Wizardry? Oh, the Rubik.
Rubik
Wow,
is going straight 4 staff.
How do I feel about that? Let's see. Doom doesn't go for any boots. I do kind of like mana boots on Doom, especially if you're going like a utility sort of aura build, but since he's more of a carry role here, maybe not so much. They've got the Crystal Maiden aura, which I guess is what they're going for, because Darkseer is also foregoing any form of boots. He's just rushing that mechanism.
Yikes. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a pretty mana-intensive hero. If you're going to use mech and try to throw your wall, then you're not likely going to have enough for a vacuum, even.
OD, I guess, is kind of the biggest mana boot of all. With OD and CM, I think you can be like, fuck it. Yeah.
I think that's what they're doing, so I guess a pretty good call by them.
Yep. But definitely for Radiant, they need mana supplies. So I think it's usually Arcanes isn't my first go-to for Pugna, but in this case, I think it's really important. You've got Visage, you've got Rubik, you've got Invoke.
You go Phase?
Yeah, I love Phase.
Man, he's spam. Every time I
No,
go
Arcane's
phase, I
is really
lose. Every time I go Arcane, I win. So
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Arcane's really strong. Arcane mech. If you're gonna go mech, you especially need the Arcanes because mech's quite expensive
up
mana-wise.
top. I'm slacking. We almost got there. Bristleback goes
They're
down.
doing a
the
very good
offlane.
job of shutting down Bristle this game. Like they're doing an amazing job.
Yeah, he's taken what is that? His gonna be his 4th death. He's 2 and 4 actually. In the mid lane, some more action. Forge spirits reducing that armor of Jenkins. The Fade Bolt, the damage coming in enough. The arrow gonna thread the needle between 3 of them. As Visage was there anyway, so Dolphin has to fall off, and another tower going to be fortified. And it's been said on many a cast from many people, but you don't deny towers versus Pugna.
Yeah, you really
Or
can.
Tiny, I guess.
Has fallen.
Yeah, it's against both of them. It's Tiny is a little more doable because his swing is so slow, but Pugna's like almost impossible.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, Pugna is definitely the leader in that category of not being denied against.
Dude, Doom's having a great game. He's up to level 11. That Midas is paying off. He is going straight for the refresher.
Yep, he is indeed. And
I think it's like good. Like it's legit good because
now that it gives you
he
the
has
damage
to
and
Doom-
attack speed when you finish the refresher, it's better.
Yeah, for sure. And like in this case, in this particular lineup, you have to Doom Bristle essentially. So then you really, really want to Doom somebody else, like Invoker, right? Like so, having 2 Dooms suddenly makes you so much happier.
Alright,
Nice Roche sneak.
yeah, and Roche is down at 13 minutes, and I saw this on r/Dota2 earlier, a forum, maybe a controversial topic about doing Roche now with these armor reduction
too
core
easy,
lineups.
yeah.
It's way too easy, so I think they need
Yeah.
to just maybe
Usually,
change the way
yeah.
that the armor reduction reacts with Roshan. And that should
Kinda.
maybe
They could
fix
just
it.
buff his HP. Like they could massively buff his HP, and then it would still be a good reason to go armor redux, but he wouldn't be so flimsy. I don't know. Like I saw that thread. Usually, I don't like those balanced discussions that happen on public forums because I think they're really like not enlightened. But it's a decent point. Roche is really easy right now.
Yeah. Medallion of Courage.
And so many heroes can do it.
2 supports can kill Roche, and Shadow
Oh, yeah,
Shaman
that's-
can freaking solo it immediately. So there's that
That's
other
a good point,
question
Julian.
about do you change how his aggro, the Roshan aggro
Oh,
works?
the Rasta thing.
Yeah, like Rasta wards.
That's
you
been
can
around
just kill
forever.
it.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
kind of hard to say.
It's
Like, I don't
obvious.
know
I
what-
mean, if you're a pro team and Rasta's off the map, you're like, I wonder what he's doing.
Yeah, and like teams have been doing that for a while. It's just like not in prominent games until Alliance did it. The one thing I want to say about Roche with the armor reduction too is the other reason this has been true for a while, but nobody noticed because it's only a fairly recent development that everybody builds Medallion. Despite Medallion being like one of the strongest items in the game, go back like 9-ish months, you don't see anybody building it, even in pro games, which is baffling to me. And now everybody builds it, of course.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. I mean, people get stuck with a mindset and they just don't want to change. Resistant to change. It's
for
true
sure.
in online games. It's true in real life. What are
Yeah.
you gonna do? But
yeah, so Medallion, that's part of the reason, like, Roche is so weak now is because everybody runs Medallion, which speeds up your clear time, like, just hugely dramatically. Because, I mean, it's a Deso. It's as good as Desolator is.
Yeah, it really is. But as we were talking about those important issues of the day, we see a couple towers being traded. Bird's Nest, of course, they've got the Pugna, so they're pushing it up. In the top lane, they take out the tier 2. Meanwhile, bottom, I think Avanti's Angles was able to take out the tier 1 there. So the trade, which you might expect here if they're pushing, going Bird's Nest way, and looks like
They get out, yeah.
we lied. Murata just denied a tower versus Pugna.
Wow, nice job. It does have to be said that, like, it's still a pretty decent trade for them overall. Like, even if they don't get the gold from the tower, it's nice to bring it down. And like the other thing is that could have gone really badly, except oh no, Murata walked right into that. Still an arrow, nice.
Always
He
easy
blocked
to
an
hit
arrow
that
again
rig.
with Forge Spirits. This time with he resummoned the Forge Spirits when he saw the arrow coming in, and one of them ate it. It was really, really like good work.
Yeah, Big Bad Bird's been playing that Evoker pretty nicely, actually.
Yeah, he's
Played
doing
it
really
the
well.
last series I cast against someone. Oh, Faded is who they played in the last series. That was Bird's Nest versus Faded.
Under attack.
So
I remember Faded.
We
I've
got to
cast them a few
see
times.
Rhyme play Invoker and do an absolutely ridiculous performance, and the Big Bad Bird as well. They picked it up for him next game on the side of Bird's Nest. Also did well, so it was an Invoker showdown in that best of 3.
Right. Yeah, and he's actually only one level behind Doom, despite the fact that he was forced to not go Midas by the OD matchup. Bristle is going to just feed here, I think.
That was a lot of damage coming out of there. And let's see, level multiplier 5, and look what level he is. Bristleback's level 10. That did a lot of damage to him, pretty much just melting there.
Yeah, I mean, level death is...
It's
if you're on
really
a level,
good.
like, yeah. Doom's very strong right now. He's been strong for a while too.
That armor, though, too good.
Yeah. He finished his watermelon off of that.
He did. I like that you call it that. I have not heard that before. I feel like
What's
Tidehunter
the watermelon?
is the only watermelon to me. It's like you're almost...
Yes, that's true. Well, Tidehunter with the watermelon is...
That's true watermelon right there. Kunkka, probably his least favorite fruit, maybe. Or melon. I don't know if melons
Yes.
are fruit. I'm not really sure on that.
Well, do they have seeds, don't they?
They do. Sounds like a fruit.
There you go. I do worry that they gotten enough out of Pugna. I guess they've cleared every single outer tower, so yeah, they have, but they haven't even broached high ground at all. He's going Ags, which is fine, I think, but it does mean that it's going to not be the easiest time against a Doom who now disables 2 characters, and an OD who's, even though he's died 3 times, actually no, man, they've kept the OD down pretty well. He only has a 4 staff.
Yeah, and I think this is going to just kick in with that refresher coming out on the Doom. They draft a pretty greedy lineup, I thought, with having 2 people in the jungle, solo lanes, and whatnot. And it's only 8 to 7. They've lost They've lost their outer towers, but now they've got that refresher up. They've got the potential to win the team fights, and this is kind of the way we've seen Avanti's Angles play that Doom. They, do well in the early game. To what? Cast it twice? Barely. Maybe.
With the, I guess because you double Soul Ring. I guess with the double Soul Ring, it should be fine. You have 872, so 200, 575, 7. Wow, it's like really tight. You can't cast anything else.
Well, you gotta hope that you got some mana regen. That's probably negligible from the Crystal Maiden, but then you gotta hope for that Essence Aura. I mean, 40% chance, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Gem. There's a gem on the Visage. They see the arrow goes out. It will take out the Crystal Maiden.
Nice
She's going to
Astral.
be put under, though. Yeah, definitely a good Astral. And it should save her. No, Forge Spirits are there to just really be OP. And they're going to get her. That's the big bad bird getting a kill there with just his micro units there. Visage not having the same luck. Loses one familiar, almost loses the other. But here comes the Wolfle Devil over. Dolphin will go down. This Rubik stealing that Crystal Nova, picking up the kill.
Yeah, really. This is pretty good Rubik play. Check this out. It's 3-0-5, and that early 4 staff has really helped him have amazing positioning this entire. Is he gonna get the lift?
Oh, so close.
Yeah.
Looks
Still,
like he ran
really
into
good
a
play by
creep,
him.
maybe a little.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Rubik's really probably playing the best. Him and Invoker have both been playing really well.
Yeah. Well, they are on the flashier heroes, right?
There's the
Invoker's got
double
like
doom.
100 spells, and then whatever. Team fight though, and is gonna go down. Jenkins busting out the Sandy's Eclipse. Big bad bird here is doomed. So Avanti's Angles, they lose a couple skirmishes outside the base, but they defend what's important, and they turn it around with a double kill up now on Jenkins. The OD level death is a mini stun, but it's on cooldown, and he's not rocking the Blink Centaur Stomp. So able to TP out there to safety is the Visage.
Yep. I mean, a solid defense. They did use the refresher, so Radiant will know that it's not going to be up for, what, 3 minutes? Yeah, 3 minutes, basically.
3 minutes sometimes does go fast, though.
It does, yeah.
Sometimes I have
for sure.
myself wondering, like, how did Tidehunter just ravage twice again?
Yeah, it's true. It's a really good point. Or like Black Hole, sometimes.
Yeah.
You're just like, But of course, honestly, like, it's... The fact is that Radiant is still in pretty good shape, just because they still have all these towers up, and it's very safe for them to just use this time to farm. Because they know that, I think, Dire, Avanti's Angles, will still not want to fight unless they have both of the Dooms.
Yeah, absolutely. So they've got to do their best to not get picked off outside the base. The Mirana ult is no longer going to help the Angles because, of course, Visage. He's 2-0-2, so he's yet to die. He's got the Medallion. The Gem of True Sight as he works towards a 4-staff. And it should be noted there's 4 4-staffs in this game. Invoker and Rubik for Bird's Nest, and Don't Cry for me, Avanti on the Crystal Maiden, and Jenkins on the OD.
That's how you know it's a high-level game.
Yeah, it's a good item.
It really is.
I think TI3 proved that.
Remember when it was like 3 times better than it currently is? Like,
I was a noob back in Dota 1, but I remember when 4-staff first came out, and I was like, this item's retarded. Like, it's so useless, because I was really bad, but...
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
so
non-obvious.
good.
It's like the best item, yeah. Even now, after all the nerfs, it's still the best item. Doom is 4 levels ahead of anybody on the map. So this is the thing for Radiant. Like, they want a high ground, but they know, especially if Doom has the two Dooms up, they can't do anything about him. Like, if he nullifies your top 2 heroes, how are you possibly going to kill the guy who's 4 levels ahead?
Definitely. There's also that arrow and the Sanity's Eclipse to push into, which can be risky. And we'll see if Rubik can do his best to steal the arrow, and it's easier to land without the animation, of course.
Yeah, I think even with Pugna, they don't have the greatest, like, just because Pugna's so vulnerable, they're gonna have a very hard time high grounding.
Yeah.
The longer this goes, I feel the better Dire start to feel about it, because then your OD starts to really get farmed. He's gonna go BKB, so he's really not doing that much damage until the next item after BKB, but all they have to do is get like 3 high ground defenses, and they'll be in really good shape.
Yeah, I think Avanti's angles, they're playing this game, or rather Bird's Nest is playing it into Avanti's strategy, so they probably feel quite comfortable. If we look at the gold graphs here at 22 minutes, we'll see that it was about a 3,000 advantage for the Bird Nest, but it's, you know, moving back down towards equilibrium, and then XP is actually big time
yeah.
Avanti's advantage, about 7,000.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, the farm is whatever, but when you've got this Doom who's just dominating the game as much as he is, like, now that he has Refresher, he doesn't have to worry about any more utility items. He can absolutely just go auto-attacky, because it's not like he's going to be casting any other spells besides Double Doom, right?
Oh, he better go Ags. He's only 900 gold away from completing that
He
Ags.
could. I don't know,
He
dude.
will.
Like, I think he should go, like, Quirus or something. Like, it would be so much better.
I mean, I don't actually agree that Ags is
I
the
know.
best item after Refresher, but if you're gonna go Refresher, right? I mean,
I know, I know. It's very tempting, but I do think that he has better items
That
to build.
double-
Invoker makes Ags, so we'll have to see how WoW Dota he gets.
Well, he's been playing pretty well, so I think the WoW Dota is flowing in his veins, and we might have to
I just don't
cue
know.
up that song.
I feel like Lincoln's is the thing to build here, though. Like, against Doom, I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. I actually really like, as well as I'm sure a lot of people do, picking up Lincolns on any of those rich supports. I mean, even on
Yeah,
an
dude.
Alchemist, like you're farming with Grievo's Greed as a support, like pick up that
For sure.
Lincolns. It's really
Mass
good.
Lincolns is the future, like, unquestionably. Remember that Speed DK series at MLG Finals where you had, like, 6 Lincolns per game?
Yeah,
I was
it
like, goddamn, this is the future.
hilarious. I do remember that game. It was quite a good one, I will say.
It was. That was a really legit series.
There was
That
a lot of
great.
feels. I was so happy for Speed Gaming and maybe like
sure.
the hope of NA Dota, and then at the same time I was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
sad for DK.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Lana was not happy.
Mid lane, we've got the OD Jenkins being ganked on. Oh, Rubik gonna take an arrow to the face, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. The Moonlight Shadows has been
They have
popped here,
protection.
but they've got the gem, so Jenkins will drop. Now the Netherward's down as the rest of Avanti's tries to engage. I think that's a Soul Assumption being stolen and then used. It is, and
It's still an Eclipse, but it didn't hit anything.
yeah, off the mark there.
I think they get this CM probably.
I
Snot's
think
too
so
good.
too.
Nice
coming
arrow.
out. And here comes Doom on the backside, throwing one Doom out. There goes two, and I think they may be able to turn it around, but Sunstrike from Invoker. Damage is going to get split up. Jenkins with the buyback actually coming into this.
Radiant's bottom tower
Looking to
is
take
under
out some
attack.
That was a stolen Doom, by the way. So Rubik is just so fucking
Whoa.
going ham.
He had a pretty good opportunity to steal it since Doom did cast it 2 times in a row.
He did.
But yeah, good
yeah.
play from Rubik
I mean,
regardless.
the fight goes really well for Bird's Nest, and then Doom walks in and just dooms 2 people, and it's like, oh right, 3v5 is really hard.
Right, that ability. And look at this. Roche is up in the team here with the usual, I guess, dire Roche advantage. Is going to get it, especially with the Bristle and the Rubik being
went
down.
BKB. I
Pugna's
like
got to
this
go
section.
back to base, too.
I think BKB for Doom here is much more solid than the Ags would be, because now he's impervious to basically everything. And once he hits Bristleback with the Doom, he's impervious to literally everything, right? Like, they don't have a backup plan against BKB Doom.
Yeah. And when you're playing against a Pugna, I think 3 out of 5, basically your 3 cores getting BKBs is almost a necessity in a highly contested game, you know?
Oh man, did he get 4-step down into it, or did he push himself?
I don't
He pushed
know.
himself. Yeah, he pushed himself, but it was really, like, low chance that would work.
Going for that Dendu play.
Would that even, yeah, I mean, it's worth it if you get it, but it's, like, against OD, who can just prison you and all these other heroes.
Yeah, I mean, Visage is kind of a support you do want to maybe just be taking that advantage to farm and maybe get towards an Ags to go ahead and get that 6th man on the field, but I don't know.
Yeah,
OD
or anything,
also
I
does
mean.
well against Familiar, so that might not even be worth it.
Yeah, that's the thing. OD is an amazing pick here because he's strong against, he's really strong against Bristle, and he's quite strong against Visage, so, and he's pretty good against Invoker. He's just a very, very good pick.
Oh, here's that Lincoln's on Wolfle.
Yeah. That's the good thing about Bristle, he doesn't need to build anything, so you can do whatever the hell you want.
I'm just
So,
very glad no
Lincoln's-
one went Vanguard. I'm not convinced it's really good. Like, sometimes,
I think sometimes.
situational on Bristle and Axe, but other than that,
Yeah.
not really feeling it.
think it's an okay item. Against unlike Bristle, you can definitely win games.
Oh,
with it.
Darkseer busting out the BKB and the mech charge here. Well, not the mech. Yeah, he's got 8 points on the magic stick. Trying to wait a little bit longer. Not even worth using him now. Is no chance on getting out. So.
Yeah, I forgot they had a Darkseer. Like,
So did I. I actually didn't even realize.
has he done anything?
No.
Like, I'm not saying anything about the player. I'm sure he's fine. Like.
Oh,
Hero
Factor
just-
Fiction can go ham. He played the Bristleback, and I think he played Slark, and he had some incredible performances.
Yeah, those are heroes that do stuff. They're pretty cool.
They are heroes that do stuff, unlike some heroes. That used to be my favorite hero, pretty much. Not so much anymore.
He's just been nerfed so many times. Like,
Has he 2 seconds to vacuum?
yeah, like every patch
Every
is
patch.
just another 1 second. Yeah. I mean, it honestly is a huge deal. Like, moving from... When you move from being able to cast your like signature spell twice a fight to once a fight, like he literally got essentially cut in half in terms of his teamfight effectiveness. So not many heroes are going to be able to withstand being nerfed by 50%, but that's essentially what happened to him.
I don't know if the world will know what to do though if the next patch doesn't have Darkseer either nothing or vacuum by 2 seconds.
Love a buff, vac CD buff.
Yeah, vacuum down 1 second. Nice.
That's a good plan.
Uh,
They still don't feel confident though. Like even with the 2 dooms, because if they mess up and they lose that fight, like and you don't have the 2 dooms for a while, then Pugna just takes your towers, right? So it's still a little bit shaky, even though I think they're ahead.
Yeah, I agree. And the push threat is real. I mean, we've already got Big Bad Bird, of course, living up to his Invoker name here, split pushing the bottom lane with the Forged Spirits. If Pugna maybe picks up some Boots of Travel here, if they lose a team fight, Avanti's Angles loses a Rax more than likely, or a lot of buybacks are going to be expended. So they feel safe. They've defended at their high ground every single time. So why not just keep doing it and get really far ahead and then leave the base and just win the game?
They had a couple of really critical defenses. You're totally right, especially the one where like the fight around the like dire jungle area where it looked like they were going to lose, and then Doom came in and
OD buyback.
Yep, that was a good buyback too. Even though OD is, that's the thing. What they want to do is wait for OD to get bigger. Like he still only has, like OD BKB. The thing is, like okay, now you finally survive, but now you're really behind the curve for how much damage you want to be dealing as OD at this point in the game. So they want to wait for maybe one more big item for OD before they try to do anything really bold. Which means they'll probably just let this Aegis run its course.
Yeah. Which that was another thing in that Roshan thread. It's like people are killing Roche at 13 minutes, picking up an Aegis, and then it just farms for 6 minutes. And it's boring. But I don't know. I think it's okay. I mean, fighting Roche that early generally does force a pretty big and maybe even decisive team fight, because you got to fight over that objective or
for
have
sure.
a game plan afterwards.
I just wish it took longer. Like sometimes people clear it so quickly that the other team doesn't really have an opportunity to respond.
Yeah, that's true. Either the changing how armor reduction works or buffing his HP seems good.
Like I think the time changes are good. Like that was definitely good because before that Dire would just camp it forever.
It's only as good because the clock that they came up with is so freaking cool.
It's very cool. It's unreadable, but it's pretty cool.
What do you mean unreadable? It's like perfect.
I have a lot of trouble with it.
Oh, I like always know. Exactly. Okay. I'm like, Roche is in 10 seconds, and the in-game warning pops up. It's like 10 seconds. I'm like, yes.
I just want the Dota world to get digital.
Oh, Big Bad Bird in trouble. Gonna get doomed up. Arrow, and that vacuum getting put to use.
Yeah, I mean,
if
they don't... Finding a solo gank like that is so great because they don't have to expend the refresher on it, and now, hey, like in 90 seconds, Doom will have 2 Dooms again, so it's like almost costless to just kill him like that.
Yeah, it's nice, just throwing the Doom out to get one. And if a team fight did break out afterwards, he did have the option to refresher and then throw out another Doom, so that's pretty nice.
For sure, which he absolutely would if they like tried to counter gank, because why the hell not? You're already fighting 5v4 and now you fight 5v3, just like if you had already done it.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the mass Lincolns that they've pressured them into going means that there's no damage being added on Bird's Nest side. Like, none of them are building damage at all. You see Invoker making Lincolns, almost done. Pugda's making Lincolns. Bristle's done with Lincolns. So who's delivering the damage, right? Like, almost nobody.
Yeah, I mean, all they really have is the Quill Spray, which is physical, will go through BKB, and then, of course, you know, Pugna with another board, with another blast, but as more BKBs get finished up here on Avanti's angles, then the Pugna damage pretty much drops off completely, so...
Invoker too, honestly.
Yeah, not necessarily the best-known right clicker, but actually a fight may be breaking out. There's a surge from Factor Fiction, will get away. The Mirana gonna go ahead and TP out.
Not great execution. They couldn't decide who they wanted to go on, so they didn't get anybody. I feel they really could have either Probably killed the Darkseer if everybody committed to it, or killed the Mirana. It's too bad.
Rubik was about a millisecond away from getting that lift off.
Yeah, he was. For sure. He was very close.
Alright, Shiva's Guard coming out here on the Doom, checking with Crystal Maiden. Shiva's almost got a BKB, but they're not going to give us any time. The mid lane, there's another BKB charge being used now, so at least Bird's Nest is forcing out quite a few of those.
Yeah, but they're still at like 9 seconds on every hero, 10 seconds for OD. It's really scary for Bird's Nest right now, I feel. Like, even with all the Lincolns, I don't know if they can... If the, like, both Dooms get eaten, yeah, sure. But the odds are that they'll be able to just force staff you and still get the Doom off.
Yeah, Doom's probably going to wait for that. They realize that people are going for the Lincolns here. And already have
They should go, like... you know what they should do? Get Atos on somebody, and just use the Atos to plink away somebody's Lincolns from 1,600 units.
Yeah, maybe a good item for the Darkseer to pick up here instead of the Sheep
that's
Stick.
what I was thinking.
Should be pretty nice.
Well...
Because Crystal Maiden's pretty much committed to the BKB right now. She almost has it. Mirana also on the way.
Yeah, they're getting so big. It's kind of terrifying, honestly. Only Mirana is really behind, but even she's gonna have BKB.
Yeah. In terms of gold, though, I mean, these items have to be being matched, and I think it is mostly going towards Lincolns, but we see a Basher on the Bristleback now. The gold advantage is only 5,000 for Avanti's angles, but the XP story of the game pretty much, with the kills even as well, it's a 15,000 XP advantage.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's on Doom. Doom's just, he's only died once. He's been part of 10 of their 13 kills, and he's farmed, and he has Midas. He got rid of the Shivas, but still, like, he had that Midas for a long time.
Yeah, and that's going to be... I'm not actually positive if that damage will apply twice if you refresh and then use the Shivas again.
The damage will, the
yeah,
slow.
Yeah, it will, right? But the aura, of course, isn't really going to matter, because it's always there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so decent damage coming out from that. I mean, it's 200 damage AoE, so make that
no, it's legit,
and some mitigation.
Unquestionably. And it the other thing about Shivas is it gives you a lot of, like, just mana.
Yeah.
Straight up because of the high int on it, so it lets you more easily do all your refresher tricks. He needed in, like, he needed better mana pool. He's not gonna... Oh, actually, nice lift on the Darkseer.
Do you even lift Rubik? Rubik would answer that with a yes. Wasting a TP and wasting some extra farming time there by Factor Fiction. Also gonna keep him on his toes, a little scared to be down there in enemy territory.
And Moonlight. They had to use Moonlight on it, so it's actually a really, really big win overall. They saw the Moonlight, so now they know there won't be one for another 2.5 minutes.
Let's see, Visage. Are you impressing me? You are. You're still holding on to that gem. Looks like you maybe died once, so someone picked it up and handed it back. But the gem that they bought early on Bird's Nest, they still have it. I haven't really been paying attention / noticed if they've been really utilizing the gem to deward, but looking at the map, I see a whole lot of green wards and no dire wards.
Yeah, they definitely have been doing a good job. Top, a little bit of trouble? No, it's okay. They're going to be able to hold off the Doom from coming in. That Sunstrike's not going to do much.
I don't think I would have killed her anyway.
Oh. Nice, a bird blocked a arrow. But the birds are still dying. Like, this is a lot of gold for OD, who's now going towards, finally, that scythe. Yeah, I think the supports of Radiant have done well. Like, they just haven't gotten that much out of this Bristle pick because it got so effectively countered by the OD and Doom.
Yeah, I don't know if they necessarily stack these inches as effectively as possible. I see it they're stacked once. I've seen Bristleback over there a couple times, but I've never noticed, like, a... I mean, you could do it at any point in the game with Quillspray at 4, pretty much.
He hasn't done it that much.
And I haven't seen... There should have been potentially even a 5 or 6 stack by, you know, 20 or even 15 minutes that Bristle could have cleared.
I feel that my guess is that they initially felt like they didn't want to focus on farming the Bristle as much as just going for, like, pushing towers and going high ground. And now that it's, like, beyond that point, now they're like, well, crap, like, we need to run around and try to get ganks and things like that, and they've never delegated the time to actually try to heavily farm Bristle up. Yeah,
that is true. They were 4 and 5 manning quite a bit there, pushing down the towers, which is another way to get gold fairly effectively. The Roche goes down, and I believe it's you that calls it this, the Lick of Death from Pugna coming out there with the Ags.
Yeah.
I've stolen that, by the way.
Good. It's I think it's a good term.
I give you credit, like, most of the time, so...
Thank you. Yeah, he honestly, like, the Lick's good, but it can get interrupted by so many things on Dire, and he doesn't have his BKB. Like, he's going Lincolns, like everybody else.
Lincolns can help with that, at least for one spell. And, not thinking about it, wastes the Doom there on the Lincolns, but if he really wanted to, he could refresher the Doom him again. Probably should not.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to that much.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, there you go. The Lincoln's doing some work.
Lol.
Yeah. I'm sure he's noticed by now that the entire enemy team is collectively going Lincoln's here.
Yeah, they definitely are. OD picks up an ultimate orb. Could be Sheep or Lincoln's, but now I think Factor Fiction will be okay. The Nether Ward going to be taken out there. 3 hits by Dolphin will do it. Jenkins, though, could be in trouble. Wolfle with that Warpath up to 5 stacks, but to the high ground they go, and I think that's going to end that engagement.
Yeah, it's really tough. Bird's Nest, to win a fight, they have to really catch them out of position. Because, I mean, Avanti's has Cheese, they have Aegis. Like, sure, they caught the CM, but it doesn't make it that easy. Ah, yeah, the remote Lincolns, I really like it. Because, of course, Doom has level death, so you have to somehow be able to eat that.
Yeah,
but the remote
he
Lincolns
can't just break it with that, which is pretty nice. Well, the tower saves the damage. There's the wall, Darkseer. I think that's the first wall of the game. They're focusing the Nether Ward. Will they get it down?
He did! They did it! They blocked another Doom.
Nice. And let's see, he's used the refresher, so there is no chance at another one. OD could be in trouble there, going against the Invoker. Actually switch that to Invoker being in a lot of trouble. He's just going to try to TP out. Going to be put under. Back over to the Bristleback. Will take out Dolphin and checking in on Invoker. Invoker going to go down in the freezing field. The sense of the Crystal Maiden to go ahead and use that Shredder now.
Wow,
in a bit of trouble. Avanti's angle's being kited around in a team fight sort of near their high ground, or at least it started there. So if they lose this, they could get pushed in. Another TP canceled by the Astral Imprisonment, and it looks like the Doom chasing. That was an ambitious Shivas as W4 on the Pugna gets taken down and another familiar.
Yeah, honestly, that could have been a lot worse. They
traded in kills.
They traded, and also the Doom will not have, like, they completely stuffed the Doom's attempts at dooming. Once you have so many Lincolns, it becomes very hard to keep track. Like, with 1 Lincolns, it's like, well, it's your fault if you Doom into it. But with, like, 3 Lincolns, it's like, god damn it, like, I can't do all this math.
Alright, not using Doom ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
Much. Well, I mean, the team fight, they get a tier 2 tower for. Now they're going on to the tier 3, maybe even Arax. There's a Glyph of Fortification. Okay. Invoker respawns now, and they're going to be smart. And back off. Jenkins also gets his sheep stick delivered there by the courier. How nice.
Radiant's middle tower.
They're force staffing, but they don't know where Doom is, so he's going to get out. It's a nice move by Avantis to take the unpopular way up to get out of that fight. And you saw Bird's Nest just chase them all the way this way. So it was well played. They got out well. And they still have the Aegis for like 2.5 more minutes.
Yeah,
they didn't cheese that.
We can check the Roche. They've got, yep, exactly 2.5 minutes because this clock is so good.
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, I do. I love it. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't quite understand it at first until I read Cyborg Matt's thing, and then I was like, wow, genius.
No, it's cool. It definitely looks...
It's better than the
And I don't know how they would present the data better. Like, I have no better suggestions, so I try not to wind
like
up.
a timer.
Yeah, digital.
But I don't. But the digital timer's bad because then you'd have to put like 11 minutes of stream delay because you would know exactly when, and then someone could just text you or something.
Wow, that's a really legit point. You're totally
so
right.
Like you have to keep it cryptic, so it denies it up to the 4 or 2 minute delay off of the outer circle. So it's like a really good system.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I mean, they could just reset the digital thing at that point. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, put it down to 8. But
no, that's a good point. You're totally right. I don't have a better suggestion. I don't want it to be digital. It would definitely break the
the theme.
Merchant. My feels, yeah.
Yeah. Arrow. Oh,
still an arrow.
Jenkins.
It was a good shot. Like, he couldn't have asked for more.
Oh.
I just feel like they haven't gotten enough out of either the Pugno or the Bristle. Like, the supports are doing really well, but.
Yeah, not a whole lot of stuns to keep anyone around. I mean, they've got, what, Cold Snap, maybe Ice Wall as some CC
they really
from Invoker, and then just the lift. Familiar stuns, but Familiars really aren't a factor in this game. They don't last. Oh, one. There's one.
Oh, he's going to eat it.
He's going to get doomed, and he's not too excited about it. They should be able to bring him down. Something to note is earlier we saw the Bristle, or somebody, no, it was the Rubik canceling the Darkseer. Darkseer gets some revenge, cancels the Bristleback's TP, and they're able to run him down, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, Doom is almost 6 slotted. Once he has the money to replace that Aegis with an item once it's gone. Wonder what it'll be.
Ags.
I still think Querus would be pretty good. Yeah, Ags. I guess so.
Actually, now Ags really doesn't make sense because he's having trouble even getting off the 2 Dooms. So I wouldn't
hate like Dagon.
Dagon, nice.
Because you can refresh it also.
Yeah, that's true. But then, I mean, is he gonna have the mana for that? I guess the Essence Aura procs. I mean, this is like the one game you could probably get away with that.
Yeah, I don't know. The mana is a problem for sure.
I like the AC. That seems to be the stable pick there.
Yeah, AC's legit. AC like would give them auto attack. It gives them better push, which they haven't had. They don't have great push, is a fact. So AC helps that a lot.
No Necronomicons on either team either. Something to maybe note.
I think that Pugna could have gone Necro.
I think it would have been better even.
Than Scythe? Yeah, I don't know what Scythe.
No, I mean better than even just rushing that Ags.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think the Ags hasn't done much this game. I think they needed that extra bit. Like they almost high grounded, but then like every time they just didn't come quite close enough. And I think Necro 3 or 2 would have really helped that like nudge that they needed. Because if it's 42 minutes and Pugna hasn't even taken a tier 3 tower, like why'd you pick Pugna, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean they've got the tier 3 middle and top lane at half HP, but I mean that's obviously not getting the racks here. Is Jenkins in some trouble. The Sheepstick and the Doom go out onto Wolfle, wasting 2 abilities, but again they were just trying to break that Linken's, and the double force staff out. The Netherward starting to eat people away, but the BKBs, that's okay. Doom rolling in, gonna Doom out the Invoker, so now that Ags Invoker not getting anything done at all. They take out the Visage pretty quickly. Might even get the birds. I think they will. No, oh bird. Yeah, that one's gonna go down. But the arrow is searching. Crystal Maiden gonna take it to the face, and we'll see if they can get her. But another arrow, counter arrow from the Dolphin, the hero that should have that ability.
Nice sheep. They needed that, otherwise Bristle would die.
There's the
lick. Pug down low ground. That's really bold. Well, the tornado's just kind of short because he's under level. Yeah, this is when
2 points in wax.
Because he's paying for that lack of Midas, right? Like you need your Invoker at this point to be like level 20.
Yeah, absolutely. We can see it there with the no points in wax, not able to hit the tornado. And I believe they still have the gem. No, Mirana has the gem. Took it up there from Kun, who is on that Visage, of course.
Double damage.
That was a decent defense.
Radiant's middle
like they considering they were like 3 versus 5 because of the 2 Dooms, they have almost no damage because everybody went Linken's. Like they did a really good job with really limited resources.
It's Ags for the Doom, by the way, and yeah, they definitely defended well. They didn't even use the Glyph of Fortification on that.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly would have liked to see the AC. I think it would give them the push that they're looking for.
I think we
the
were
Ags
right.
is fine.
Seems like the better item, to be honest.
Like, if you're high grounding and you Doom, what are the odds that you're actually able to stick to the person to Doom them to death? Like, none, right? Because they're just going to go to Fountain and you can't chase them there. Also, his TP got interrupted by Basher.
Yeah. I was like, whoa.
That's actually really good because you highlighted heal him and you were completely right that they have no stuns. Like, they have very few stuns, so they need that Basher to interrupt stuff.
Makes sense with the way Warpath functions. It makes Basher a pretty good item. A little bit of strength coming out from that item too. 6. I don't know, something no. Bristle doesn't have a good strength gain as a strength hero because that would be really broken.
Yeah, he's pretty broken even as is.
Yeah, so
don't give us broken yet.
He can deal with it. You mentioned a thing about this Pugna, like why pick up Pugna if you're gonna go late and can't even kill the tier 3 towers? It's really good against OD. I mean, as soon as OD's BKB was used up, he couldn't even fight because he just killed himself with Arcane Orbs.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, his right click's pretty good. He could just take that aura off and like still do some damage, but I don't know.
Yeah, you know what Pugna should have gone?
Refresher?
Yeah! Thank you!
It's really ridiculous, actually.
I mean, it would wreck OD. Just landed on high ground.
It wrecks most people, but here we go. The BKBs are out. W4, the hammer is dropped, but it didn't really do much. There's a nice wall backing, though, to follow up, but 3 of Avanti's angles are dead on their own doorstep. This could be devastating for them. They will eventually pick up the Pugna, but it's just Factor Fiction left right now. Doom respawning in only 5 seconds.
Nice tornado. Nice tornado.
Buyback by Jenkins as well. The 2-point Wax Tornado connects that time, the double kill from Wolfle, and not a good fight for Angles at all. They trail now by 2 kills. They force out a buyback here, and Jenkins might not be able to capitalize. Nice Ice Wall as well, the Doom, but the Force Staff goes off as the Doom gets cast, so he's able to get into the pit, and then the Force Staff out as well by the Invoker, and well.
Wow, what a play. Really, really nice. That Force Staff was so well timed.
Yeah, I mean, about the only chance he had there, just trying to get over the cliff.
Oh, no, unquestionably. He was 0% chance of survival without the Force Staff, 100%, because he got the Ice Wall off, too. If he Force Staffs but he doesn't have the Ice Wall, they can just walk up to him and kill him anyway. But the Ice Wall really did him.
I feel like that's a really underrated
36
spell for Invoker. That thing is if a well-positioned Ice Wall.
He's not out of the woods just yet.
No! After that play, the overconfidence to stay in the lane, it gets hunted down. The haste rune pick up.
He should not have stayed, definitely.
And Roche is back in like 10 seconds here. There's the first Necro book. I knew someone couldn't resist buying the Scum book.
Well, if your Doom's not going AC, like, you have to have something that pushes. Like, that push on tier 3, like, remember that they didn't use a fort. How much damage did they do to the tower? This is like 74?
Yeah,
they need...
It was probably the siege that did that anyways.
Yeah. Like, they definitely need something that kills towers. Necro's a fine choice.
Yeah, it is.
You don't like Necro? You called
No, no, one is fine. I think one per team is okay, but after that, you're like kind of losing favor with me.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just today we did five Necros.
Oh, I mean, I say that, but literally every time I play, I'm like, everybody get a Necro book.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm a hypocrite,
pretty good.
but I don't know.
Yo, I love this visage positioning.
Wow, people are pinging the Roche pit. They are aware that both teams want this. This will be the 4th Roche, by the way, this game. The first Roche was killed at 13 minutes, so 4th Roche at 47. It's been a hot topic this game. Avanti's angles has got 2 of the 3.
Arrow on Rubik. Oh, I think they get Mirana easily. Oh, visage! He just gave away his location.
Uh-oh. I think he'll be okay for now.
Yeah, but the thing, he's got to get out of there sooner or later. He has their pipe, so they're gonna need that pipe.
Yeah, you definitely do want that. Here they go with the Forge Spirits. The Forge Spirit armor reduction actually doesn't work on Roshan, by the way.
Right, yeah. That would be even more obnoxious.
Yeah, Invoker would be really broken, and he already sort of is getting it at the OP. That buff really helped him, the 2 spells.
Fado thinks he's OP. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, I heard that interview. I mean, apparently now he does too. They banned him twice. But anyway, team fight coming out. There's the Nether Ward being dropped down for the big spells coming out from the Darkseer. He must have taken a lot of damage from that. But Sheep on the W4 once again. He will be taken down. Sending's Eclipse not doing a lot this game. Shredder's still alive. He's going to run over to chase the Bristle. Gonna get that Doom off. They're gonna put him under as well. On the backside of things, it's Big Bad Bird, also Doom. So 2 Dooms got off in this team fight. Nicely done. Bristle and the Invoker die at almost the same exact time, and that opens up the door for the Roche. And well, if we look at the buybacks here, potentially the game.
Yeah, OD's that was just very well good. Avanti's angles are doing a better and better job of managing the Dooms properly, like ensuring that none of them get stuffed. They all land on the critical targets to actually nullify it. And it's just, I don't know, like Doom, once it gets Refresher, like it's really hard to play against for a lineup like this. Like, you can't, you're 5v3, like your chances of winning that are just so bad.
Yeah,
and there's certain heroes who can get doomed and just still ignore it and still fight. Like Anti-Mage, for instance, like he doesn't really care. Like,
yeah,
it's
I mean,
fine, but Bristle's not that. Yeah. Bristle's a hero who, no matter how farmed he is, he's gotta be spamming spells to do anything.
Yeah, exactly. That Warpath really makes up for some of his lesser stat gain and right.
And all their heroes need to spam. They're all low cooldown spamming heroes, so it's actually interesting that they opted to pick, like, they really didn't fear the Doom, even though the Doom was the first pick from Avanti's angles, and they've paid for it, right? Like, Dooms run the game.
Yeah, and they probably expected this. I mean, I saw W4 in the stream chat for the last game that Angles played where they ran this, so they know it's something that Shredder was going to pull out. And
yeah.
He did it even in a game where I didn't think the Doom was going to matter, but like you said, just taking any fight to basically 5-on-3. I mean, taking out the 2 supports even at that point, if there's a carry like Anti-Mage where it doesn't matter, it's a huge deal. As long as you don't get jumped.
Yeah. I think it's like unironically quite good. Like it's legit. Because Doom is such an like overcurve spell that being able to cast it twice is worth almost any price.
Yeah.
Refreshers, I think Refresher is an item that's underexplored. Like I think it has such potential for brokenness, and it's balanced only by the fact that it costs 20 million gold. But you're Doom, you have the gold.
We've got, I mean, quite a few heroes in here that have seen some experimentation with it. The Doom, the Pugna, as we mentioned, the OD,
Invoker,
as well as the Darkseer.
Yeah,
Can go for that item, and even Invoker, like you said, like throwing out 2 meteors
it's legit on OD.
is pretty nice.
It's really underrated on OD. It's really good because people complain about OD late, but what you just do with OD late is wait for them to BKB and then use the second sanities afterwards.
Yeah, when everyone's so low, it's pretty much ridiculous. It's a good stat item as well, so it does boost your intelligence.
Yes.
And Bristleback, I hear him down here, does have an Abyssal Blade. It's actually Shredder, the one that is in some potential danger, but no.
It's too scary.
There's Boots of Travel now on Jenkins. He's got the cheese. Doom's got the age, so there's pretty much 2 lives on both of these heroes. And one going to be able to TP out. Arrow going to hit a creep.
Good juke. That was a really nice juke, because they have like 20,000 ways of interrupting him. They could have done level death, they could have done prison, but he just got just out of vision. So really nicely done by them. The problem is, I don't know how they stop this push. CM has Necro 3.
Yeah,
and
that's
OD's
when they
huge
go
now.
right now.
Yeah, like I said that they were gonna wait for OD. Like they've waited. Like he's got BKB travels treads. He's got travels and treads.
Gotta keep those
and,
stats, man.
Gotta keep those stats. That's legit. I mean, the attack speed's great.
Yeah, the attack speed really helps him. Able to get those
It's gonna be
birds.
almost impossible to defend, I feel.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they're gonna try, of course. Here they are. The Lick of Death going out, dropping the familiar, so those stunts have been used up. A Tornado gonna catch two. The EMP gonna go out. It's only gonna get the Mirana, actually, so she's gonna go ahead and back up. There's a bird down. That attack speed is nice. That was a really, really long Abyssal Blade animation, and now that's wasted for the Bristleback. Not even sure how that went off, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Team
Oh,
fight.
there's the BKB. They're gonna go for it.
So far,
Because
pretty
Mirana, it's like
anticlimactic
low cost.
here. No big
Yeah, it really is.
engagement. Jenkins
They don't want to
getting
use the
pretty low.
cheese until they know they're going all in. Okay, there's
Nope.
the cheese.
You lied. You lied to us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that means that they just have to push, I guess.
Yeah, it looked like he had the potential to go down there, like if anyone forced out or anything like that. Nice defensive ice wall, but now that's going to be there. Another EMP. He's wasting a lot of spells on nothing all of a sudden.
He's got Ags, so...
That is a good point. Tornado and Meteor are up next here for Invoker. Maybe the player to watch here. The Doom goes out onto the Pugna. And now the other Doom out onto the Bristleback. He's also going to be sheeped up. And with that, with no buybacks available to him,
arrowed
that very
Invoker.
well could be the game. Wall coming out. Visage is going to drop as well. Freezing Field from Crystal made it on a few. Was that a refresher wall? Did he actually go for one as well? Or was it? No, Rubik stole it there. That's what
It's
happened.
the Rubik wall,
It should be
yeah.
green, by the way. Jenkins going to run
Yeah,
through,
oh,
and that
unquestionably.
is the other wall is running through. So he's in some trouble. He's going to go down. He already forced out the cheese with the racks, with the Necro 3, with the push of Doom. They get it. So they dive past the team, or the objective a little bit to kill the team, rather. And maybe don't get 2 racks because of it. Crystal Maiden might even go down
no,
here.
they can probably do it. Why the hell not?
Middle racks?
Bristol can't stop him, I
Yeah,
think.
middle racks is definitely in danger as well.
Like, Pugna's just dying to creeps, so...
Yeah, it turns out
Oh, I
there's
didn't
a
take the
lot of
racks.
them, and your Pugna, they still hurt. Because Pugna, what's he only got?
Dire's
1700
top tower
HP? I
is
guess
under
that's a
attack.
fair amount with the Ags, with the Sheepstick.
Yeah. Bird's just going as heavily into Wex as he can to get the better Tornado for turtling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. The Invoker's like the only hero in the game who can be level 20, and you're like, it's kind of under level. Like, I wish he was higher level.
Yeah, I wish it was level 25. Like, it would be so much better.
It really is.
And
I mean,
that's
that's why
why
part of
Midas
the reason why
is key.
Midas is so... Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going Scythe now. I just don't know. I don't know if it's enough. They lost that Rex, and it didn't look. It wasn't that hard for Avantis. Like all they have to do is stick Dooms, and they're fine.
Yeah, Avanti's and Angles, not Angels, they've since changed. I'm surprised you've adapted to their new name so quickly here in this cast.
It's pretty hard. I'm not having the easiest time. But
Yeah,
it's okay.
you really have to stay conscious of it. Okay, now we can say Scumbook. Shredder coming out with that's his 6th item to build out his inventory there, replacing the
That's
Aegis
smart.
pretty soon. But I guess we should have done this earlier since the game has slowed down. If you're watching in-game here, this is CEVO Season 3 Main, the lower bracket round 4 here in the playoffs. Loser of this series will go home, and if you'd like to check out the stream, twitch.tv/playcevo1 is where you can do that. And I'm Helium. You can follow me on Twitter at Heliumbrella, and Vic Roman, where can they find you?
Oh yeah, I mean Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, anything. If you find my name, you can follow me there. VYKROMOND. But yeah, Twitter. I'm on Twitter sometimes.
Yes.
Oh, he's 4-staffing forward. Invoker wants to make stuff happen. I did want to comment. Like the supports have really done a lot of work. Like honestly, I think overall, like Darkseer aside, Avantis have a substantially better draft. So the fact that Bird's Nest have done as well as they have is very impressive. And I think you can lay that at the feet of the supports. Like look how well this Rubik has done. He's level 19 on the losing team. Like, whereas Visage is 14. He's 7, 2, and 11. He somehow ferreted away a full Scythe of Ice. Like, this Rubik's...
Yeah, this Rubik is pretty stacked right now. And this is without a Midas. Like, who needs Midas
Yeah.
to support, right?
Yeah. You kind of can't afford it on Rubik. Like, he needs too much stuff. But,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Oh, Moonlight, so they really want to catch him and just finish it.
Let's
I mean, with
check it
2
out.
Necro 3s, it's still, like, almost impossible. Like, Bird's Nest did a really good job, but it's going to be... Like, they have less than 10% chance, I think.
I'd really like to see a Vlad's or an AC coming out on somebody. I mean, that makes the Necro units themselves so much stronger. Like drums,
Yeah.
Vlad's, AC, the more minions and things
does.
you have, like get those aura items. They really add up. And it looks like the Rack's no glyph of fortification, so it will be brought down. Not forcing out the BKB yet on the OD, although they're trying. The wall a little off center with the vacuum. Another vacuum there coming from Rubik. Rubik will go down. And I think Han is probably going to be the next person to drop. He is! Now that's a hammer drop. Getting the double kill there.
Yep. It's actually a big deal that they lost Rubik. They can't defend without him. I
Given
don't
he
think.
did have a
Invoker's
sheep
down.
stick. The items we just ran over
Yeah.
there.
He's got a sheep stick, and the other thing is Rubik can theoretically, if your timing is like perfect and Doom isn't BKB, he can steal the Doom in between the first and second Dooms and Doom him.
Yeah.
Which, like, I wouldn't put it past him because he's had a very, very great game. But this is over, unfortunately.
One more
oh,
quill.
Will we get Darkseid?
No! Yes! No! What?
He got him, but it didn't say anything. Oh no, Darkseid's
No,
alive.
he lived. Someone else died. It like popped up 2 monies right there. That was confusing.
Yeah, I thought so too.
That's
That was
gonna
really-
bring out the game thought he died. I think is what happened.
Maybe the game thought he died.
think
Maybe
it
like
was-
somebody the neck creep or something.
Yeah, I have
And
no
they got-
idea. It was
Huh?
really confusing actually.
It was really confusing.
It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. It's Avanti's angles that, you know, they survive through the early game, through the mid game, defend their high ground, and then with their lineup with the double Doom, we saw them pretty much just win every team fight after that. So an exciting game 1 in a best of 3 series.